Hey guys, Kit here of Burn 1 with a tournament report for the Chicago Regional that just happened this past weekend. Yeah, so I hope you guys are ready to hear some salt-filled stories about my team bricking as hard as possible. So I went in with the team of Julian, which is, a co-host of Refresh Point, and then our other friend Brandon. I'd probably consider them two of the best Ohio players. And we went in a team, honestly, we're pretty sure we were pretty favored to make top 8 easily, but apparently that day was Sadsville for us all. I went in with Standby Sal, Brandon went in with Attack on Titan, just the meta build, and Julian went in with Konosuba, basically the same build he used at Nats this year for the Japanese format. Personally, going in, having Konosuba on our team, I know one of the biggest issues, as always, with Konosuba is it's a very coin flippy deck. It can either blow your opponent away, no problem, or, Konosuba just eats it and dies, all depending on the top check for Eris Freestander at level 2 and 3. That's usually the biggest issue the deck does have. Knowing that, I was a little worried, but I was like, it can't be that bad going in. But man, was I wrong. So I'm just going to go down on my matches for the event. So it was a 5-round event cut to top 8. The format was trios this year. If you're not familiar with the trio format, it's basically teams of 3. Each person must play a different set title on the team. You're all assigned like ABC. And then when you sit down, you face the other team's ABC, depending on what letter you are. And then the team that gets 2 victories gets to move on as the winning team, and the other team loses that round. So going into round 1, I was matched up against AOT, playing Standby Sao. This matchup, in my opinion, is a little bit more favored in the Standby Sao players' favor, I guess. I played this matchup a ton going into the event just to prepare for it because I knew a lot of the top teams that should be making top cut will most likely have at least one AOT player on there, so I wanted to make sure I knew the matchup very well. I did exactly what the deck was expected to do. I standed out stuff. The game didn't really go in either player's favor too well. My opponent wasn't able to get his level 1 combo off at all that game, mostly because I forced him to cancel with it. And even if he did have it, I had 2 lanes shut off with a counter against his 1-0 Aaron combo. So at most, he could possibly +1 off of the 3rd lane. But usually the 3rd lane in most of the turns was a level 1 bomb or a reverser, which means he's not really getting much value off of that because I get to kill his Aaron anyway. Going into it, though, both of us, for the most part, were triggering pretty horribly. I was forced to refresh twice with only 4 climaxes. It's a really weird game when Standby Sao has a million stockouts at every level, except I just was not drawing them. And the only time I ever got to play cost stuff, basically, was through standbys, which was really unfortunate that happened. But the game was super close. I gave a lot of trouble to the Sal player. He wasn't really able to do his Mikasa level 3 2 times in a row. I got him to 3-6. I had 3 swings, top check to see if there was a trigger so I can decide my attack order. There was no trigger, so I sided for 1. He canceled. Direct attack for 2. He cancels on 2. Then once again front attack for 1, trigger, so for 2, and then he canceled on 2 again. It was super unfortunate that happened that way, and he was at 3-6. I believe he refreshed at that point. Going into that 3-6 turn, he refreshed with 6 in his deck, and this deck was about 30 cards, or maybe even more than that. I didn't really keep a good count because I honestly assumed he was dead. I did a little misplay towards the end. I didn't increase my odds of living the following turn because I was too excited, assuming he was going to die anyway. So I ended up dying to a 3 swing the following turn, even though I did cancel his first attack. Unfortunately, that happened that way. I did do a little misplay at the end, but with the attack orders and everything, there's really nothing I could do in that. So I'm already down a game. And then Brandon, our AOT player, he won his game. And then Julian, as expected of Konosuba, failed his top check, so he lost his game. Unfortunately, we started the day with going 0-1, but Luckily, as long as we win the next 4 straight, it should be an easy top cut. Second round, we played against some other people. I played against, I believe it was, against our other friends from the Indiana group. I played the Sal mirror match. We were both playing standby. He was playing the variant that uses more green. I played the variant that uses more red and blue. So going to that matchup, I've never played the mirror match, but I have a decent idea of how it should be played out. I basically hit everything very well. My opponent a couple times had poor standby targets to pick from, and then he just slowly fell behind, and then I got off a really good double strike at the end, which killed him. So it went as expected, but then my 2 teammates both lost there as well. Konosuba doing the thing where it just fails top check again with Eris, which is Sadsville. But then my AOT player, Brandon, he got outplayed by their opponent's Konosuba player. I don't even know if outplayed, more like lucked super hard. So their Konosuba player was pretty close to death. Like next turn he was dead no matter what, whereas Brandon, our AOT player, was at 2-0 and died. He took 14 damage straight and didn't even get to play his level 3 game, even though he had 3 Mikasa's in hand in the climax. Very sad time for him. He was pretty upset after that, but it's to be expected sometimes when you play against Konosuba, being able to double strike at 2 and just like push really hard and do really silly things like that. It was very unfortunate because the last attack he was at 3-1, I believe, or 3-2, and his opponent swung for his last attack for 6. Brandon had 7 cards in deck with 1 climax, swings for 6, takes 6 off the top and dies with the climax being on the bottom. The best way to lose Weiss. Round 3, I played against Persona 5. It was a semi-meta build with the Joker change, but it included some blue for Fox stuff. That matchup went super easy. My opponent just had very bad start and wasn't able to mill her deck all the way through, so I won at level 2. Just, outright easy victory. Brandon won his game. I forgot what he played against, but it was pretty easy for him as well. And then our Konosuba player, Julian, won his game as well because he passed top check finally. Then going into round 4, we played against... I played against another Chicago group. Played sort of online mirror match again, except I was playing standby. My opponent was playing the Yuki book combo, which in my opinion, when it comes to Sora Online, I think that's the inferior build. I think people should be on standby by now. I think it's probably the best deck to play in English format right now, if not AOT. I'm not really sure if P5 is definitely top 5 for sure, but I'm not sure if it beats out those directly. Connor's build that just recently got released, which was also on the winning team for Chicago, is pretty interesting. I've never played that version of the build, mostly because I just never experimented with Persona 5 that much, but it's a really interesting build. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys should check it out. It's on the Strictly Broken channel. But yeah, so I played that matchup. A lot of things ended up in my favor. I hit some good standbys again, and then my opponent just didn't cancel very well, and I hit all the really good cancels, so that was that victory there. I believe Julian lost his game as usual, Eris not restanding, and then AOT winning his game, Brandon winning his game with AOT. If you haven't noticed yet, Konosuba's story for the day is not restanding and failing top check as usual. Last match we played against another group. I believe they're all from Chicago. I'm almost certain. I played against Love Live Sunshine. It was not the standard build for set 1. It was the defensive wall build with the blue stuff. Interesting build. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's like a standby deck without having standby in it. Unfortunately, he took a lot of damage and basically skipped level 1 game, and it was at level 2, and I was always at least a level ahead in damage, so there was not much he can do. And then I clocked myself into level 3 and just like attacked 5 times with switch or whatever, and he was basically dead before that even happened. Unfortunate for him, but that's the breaks, I guess. And then Brandon ended up losing his game. I forgot what he was playing against, but it was a close match from what I understand. And then Julian playing Konosuba, the god, fails his top check again, and then coaches his opponent, Alex, from Chicago, into killing him. And we were like, why did you do that? And it was just Saltsville from there, because if he didn't remind his opponent about his own abilities, then he would have lived that turn and killed Alex that following turn, and we would have ended up at least 3-2 for the day. But instead we ended up 2-3, which is very, very horrible, especially for all of us, especially since I'm sure our entire team too thought going into it we're most likely going to make top 8 fairly easily with this team. But I guess better luck next time for us. I should be going to, I know I'm going to Houston for sure, so I'll do a report there as well. I don't know what I will be playing. It most likely Sunshine there, because the new set will be out, and I have a lot of experience with that. And there's an off chance I'll be going to Atlanta this coming weekend. It really depends if I have the time, money, and like have a solid team. Otherwise, I'm not going to go. And I'm trying to make it out to the New York regional as well, if I can get a solid team going there as well. Hopefully that works out and I'll be able to make more regionals. I'm pretty excited though for the second half of the year once it goes into singles. I'm probably going to do a lot of traveling for that, and I'm going to try to do more vloggy videos, I guess, for regional experiences, and just recording things and getting more information for regionals in English so people can see that online as well for people who do not make it out to these bigger regional events. Also, congratulations to the Chicago team. Was it Clinton, Vincent, and I don't know why I'm forgetting the last guy's name. Oh, Broderick, of course. I'm an idiot. Congratulations to them for winning the entire event. Honestly, as soon as I saw top 8, no offense to any of the other teams, I was just like, yeah, their team basically has the free win for the most part, in my opinion. But yeah, so congratulations to everyone though that did make top 8. Hopefully I can make another tournament video where I don't have such a bad showing in a team event. I was pretty sad because I did go 4-1. Honestly, I was expecting to do the worst on our team, but somehow I did the best. So yeah, but going forward, I hope we can get more tournament videos out and stuff like that. And if you guys are really interested in those like vloggy type of videos for regionals, let me know in the comments below. I'll try to do that more. I didn't really bring my camera this time because I didn't really feel like doing it. But I mean, if it's content you people would like to see, then go ahead, let me know, and I'll try my best to get it. Other than that, hope to see you guys in the next video. Later.